Dominica to join the rest of CARICOM by introducing a Consumer Protection Act, and a locally owned water company runs into difficulties. Operations at Nature's Water Company appear to have ceased. I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. The details after this.
Cashwiz is the one-of-a-kind pawn shop in Dominica. We'll trade all your old and used appliances for cash, grant loans applicable to the value of your vehicle and other appliances. A community service-oriented organization actively involved in building communities and empowering the young, while partnering with social groups for nation building. So come to Cashwiz Dominica on the corner of Stibble Street and St. Johnson's Avenue, Pottersville, Roseville. Call us today at 440-5555. Check us out on Facebook or email dominica@cashwiz.com. Have you paid your mapping bill? The 10th of the month is disconnection. Upon disconnection, visit Mapping's main office. You will be required to pay off your balance and the reconnection fee. Reconnections will be done within 72 hours. So, avoid getting disconnected. Pay your mapping bill on time, because life is better with mapping.
Your style, your taste, your look. As individual as you are. Find the furniture piece that's right for you, only at Quartz. Choose from our wide selection of fresh new designs, luxurious comfort, and contemporary elegance. Best of all, it's more affordable than you think. So create the room that's all about you. Come into Quartz today, where furniture is fashionable. Quartz, bringing value home.
A Consumer Protection Act is in the pipeline so people can legally take action against a poor consumer service. The Trade Division is preparing a Consumer Protection Act to be made law here based on harmonized legislation from CARICOM.
We at the Ministry of Trade, we're being bombarded with complaints from consumers. You know, I mean, sometimes you buy a pair of shoes and you put it on your foot and then the heel breaks, and you go back to the store and tell them that you'd want an exchange or you want it repaired, and then they say no repair, or those kind of things. The only way that we have been able to deal with it in the past was in using what we call moral persuasion, so that you go to the shopkeeper and you talk to him, sir, please, look this, look that, economic dispensation. Now we want the teeth of law to deal with that.
Walter says a significant focus of his department is looking after the interests of people who have experienced unfortunate transactions.
We have already had consultation with the public sector. We need to embrace consultation with the private sector. But that act will be able to allow consumers some of the problems that they have to be solved within the context of the law. I wouldn't want in any way, shape or form to point a finger at any particular person, involved actively in doing business in Dominica. I would prefer to look at the businesses, on a whole, and look at it in a holistic sense, rather than to point on the Chinese. But I would say that, reports do not come in only from goods that were bought from the Chinese, but also from goods that are bought from even Dominican wholesalers, Dominican retailers.
And speaking of consumers, the customers of Nature's Water Company Limited have been going without water for some time now, and reports indicate this could be a sign of more serious problems at the water company.
Information revealed to Channel 5 News indicate that the company has been shut down and staff have been sent home. The company, located at Shed number 14 Caneville Industrial Site, was bought over from the Chinese on March 19, 2012. The company has a total asset value of close to $500,000 to include water treatment and bottling equipment. CEO of KPB Chartered Accountants confirmed that they were the auditors for Nature's Water.
Under the standard professional ethics, auditors do not comment on information concerning private entities unless there is a public interest aspect to it. And you have mentioned that there's an absence of the water on the shelves. I guess that is public interest, and therefore I would confirm that it did cease operations.
All attempts to reach the directors of the company, Franklin Barron, Sybil Barron and Davidson Barron, and the managing director, Frederick Barron, were unsuccessful. Channel 5 News will give more information as it becomes available.
In other news now, 2014 has been described as a year of progress for the acute psychiatric unit, particularly with respect to integration with the public. Officials say the unit's goal of reintroducing mentally ill patients back into society was accelerated in the last year through its awareness programs. Families are also reportedly more involved in helping to treat patients. There is also greater integration between the APU and the primary healthcare system.
Because right now, patients can now go to the district where they will be treated by the district medical officers. And it's not only here that they get treatment, and they feel more comfortable now going out to get treatment. So the level of stigma, it has decreased to an extent, because now that they are integrated with other patients who have other disorders, which are not psychiatric disorders, medical problems, they feel comfortable now going to seek treatment in the community with the other people. Before they used to be put aside and have clinic on a separate day or seen by a separate team, but now that they are integrated, they feel better. So they'll now go out to help whenever they have a problem. They'll feel comfortable seeking help because now they feel like they're more accepted by the public.
Meantime, Dr. Wallace says one of the challenges in 2014 was an increase in the number of people treated for mental disorders linked to drug use. 70% of admissions to psychiatric ward are related to substance abuse. Some of these patients are readmitted between 4 to 5 times a year.
So the pressures of unemployment, if I can speak a little like that, the pressures of family poverty and not able to take care of the children and the young people in the families, these guys come together and spend the entire day on the street smoking and using drugs. If they were busy working, they would not have enough time. Because the funny thing about drug dependence is that you need to change your entire lifestyle to use drugs. You make money to buy drugs, you use the drug and spend your time using the drug. You have to spend time recovering from using the drug, and you have to recover long enough to make some new money to buy drugs again. So your entire life is a drug-dependent life. If there is job for the guy, if there are services available to them to rehabilitate themselves, they'll spend less time using drugs.
Meantime, coordinator of the annual concert put on by the acute psychiatric unit says the event, now in its 14th year, has contributed significantly to changing public perception of mentally ill people. Dr. Laura Esprit says patients are able to enhance their well-being through participation in these concerts, but the events also provide the public an opportunity for greater collaboration with the APU staff and patients.
So it's done in that effort to promote mental health, as I said, to raise public awareness and to educate the public about mental illnesses and the complications of mental illnesses, to really sensitize the public. This is what they go through, this is the challenges that they go through, yet they can be normal as everybody else, they can be functional as everybody else, to give them a sense of appreciation, to raise their self-esteem, right? To put a value on the persons that they are, rather than the illness, but the persons that they are. And really to give the public an opportunity to see what healthcare professionals within mental health, what they're doing, the efforts, the challenges that they go through, yet keeping the patients in mind and trying to really promote the well-being of the patient as a whole, rather than somebody with a mental illness.
Sunday's lineup include Calypsonians Dice and Hunter, QTS winner Cassim Birmingham, Jared Jean-Jacques, Athi Martin, Cicero Singers, Dr. Binta Lambert and Swinging Stars. Concert starts at 4:30 p.m. Patrons are expected to bring along a financial contribution which will be used for supporting patients' activities. This is Channel 5 News. We'll be back right after this break.
Introducing the Ashley Collection at Quartz. Quartz has joined with Ashley Furniture, the #1 selling home furnishings brand in America, to bring you the most extraordinary furniture selection at unbeatable prices. It's now easier than ever before to find that perfect furniture piece for your home. And what's more, you can add that special touch with the right accent piece from our range of designer accessories from Ashley. Create the perfect look for your home with the Ashley Collection at Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home. Visit the new Ashley Gallery at our Roseau store.
Volcanic eruption is a possibility we must face. In case an evacuation becomes necessary, always keep a first aid kit, dust masks, goggles, passport, and other important documents ready, as well as any particular medication you might need while you're away from home. Also arrange a temporary place to stay with friends or family away from the dangerous zone. Create your own family disaster plan today.
Thank you for staying with us. A new category has been introduced into the Excellence in Public Service Awards to recognize temporary officers for outstanding work. 4 public officers will each receive a Temporary Officer Award at the ceremony on Friday. That ceremony takes place Friday evening, as we said, at the Arawak House of Culture.
This time around, what is new, we have the Temporary Officer Award. We saw it fit to include this award because there are many temporary officers in the public service, and they work well. Some of them do work well, and we saw it as an initiative to reward a temporary officer who hasn't been appointed in the government service.
The event is held every 2 years.
It entails 2 major sections. You have the awarding of the retired public officers, and in all we have 77 retired public officers will be rewarded. And we look at 11 categories of award. So there is also the Minister for the Public Service Award, and it covers an individual as well as a division. There's the Chief Personnel Officer Award, and also the Public Officer of the Year Award.
And the private sector, media and the public will get the opportunity to select their best Calypsonian every night during the Stardom 10th this season. On Thursday, Digicel presented $25,000 to Norman Lee Tar of Stardom. J.R. Stefan and Company Limited will also announce its first-time sponsorship of the event as a supplier of Appleton rum. The management of Stardom has introduced new features to the Calypso tent, including a voting element aimed at helping them improve the event.
The media here gathered, we will be giving you at each edition the opportunity to submit to Christopher Dangleben at the end of each edition the Calypso of your opinion of the night and the performance of the night.
And apart from the traditional Stardom monarch of the tent, fans will decide on a People's Stardom Calypso, and Calypsonians will also compete for a Sponsor's Monarch title.
In one of the editions, we're going to incorporate a Sponsor's Monarchy, where we will divide the entire Stardom tent into 3 teams. Each team will be headed by a sponsor, for instance, Digicel, Appleton, and whoever, Kubuli, the 3 major sponsors. The tent have 30 Calypsonians, each would have 10 in each team. At the end of the night, the fans will decide which of the teams is the winning team, and the sponsor will have the opportunity out of the 10 in their team to decide the ambassador.
The first staging takes place this Saturday at the Cicero Hotel.
There has been a good sign this year, a very good sign in the tent, because I haven't had that happen in years. The people who are most satisfied with the tent so far are the musicians. They say song after song after song is very good. As a matter of fact, I think I heard a criticism of only one person, I would never say who, but one individual. All the others they find very, very good. So it looks like our tent this year is going to be a mashup. We have in a Man Himself trophy one night. That's in honor of man himself. Then we have the very popular Calypso Tug of War.
I am joined now by Daryl Bob. He's here. To all of you Mass Camp fans out there, Daryl is here to give you all the deets. We're talking 8:30, Daryl, Friday evening at Harlem Plaza.
At Harlem Plaza.
What are the expectations?
The expectations are such that folks can expect some very good calypsos on stage this year. We have some beautiful songs that have begun coming out since last week. We actually released one last week and we released about 3 yesterday. And then tomorrow there'll be a new set and the following day. So as the days go by, you will hear new songs being released. We expect to do very well in the calypsos this year in terms of getting the crowd love once again, and also that will trickle down into the competition as well. But it's promising to be. We're promising to put on a very good show this year, and folks can expect what Mass Camp will just raise the level as we usually do each year. We try to do each year.
Any big calypso names this time around by way of attraction, bringing the crowd in and so on?
Well, folks can expect to see guys like the King Dice at his best, defending his title, and King Sai. Well, Sai is a road match king, twice road match king, and I think he'll be trying to vie for that title once again. We have some newcomers this year. We have a young lady by the name of Charis D, who has a beautiful song, a Carnival Baby. Leona also will be doing her thing. She has a wonderful piece that will come out in a couple of days as well. Myself and a few more other Calypsonians. Well, this year we're hoping to feature at least 20 Calypsonians on stage. But we will see how things go as time goes by, since our door is being knocked for new entrants. But we want to work with what we have for now. And
as you know, we all know, it's not always possible without sponsors.
Absolutely. Our sponsors this year is Kubuli. Kubuli has been with us for a few years now. We have Digicel, who has returned and give us a commitment that they will work with us once again. We have the National Pest and Termite Control, another long-standing friend of ours. We have Archipelago, who has been with us for a few years as well. This year we have a new friend on the block called White Oak Rum, the agents of Fine Foods Inc. And we are hoping that we will all have a beautiful season, that their products will sell and the public will embrace their products as much as they embrace real good calypsos. The tickets this year are only $20 for the regular tickets, and the VIP is $40. We're at the Harlem Plaza, as indicated earlier. That's the mecca of calypso in Dominica, the Harlem Plaza, where people can come and actually enjoy a comfortable atmosphere. The venue is covered, so even if it rains, you come out and enjoy the calypsos. It's very secure. We have security at Top Point, and we really expect to be at our best this year, and we can only be at our best with the public embracing us. So come out, folks, and enjoy calypsos. No matter what side of the political spectrum you are, be it red, green, or blue, come and enjoy calypsos with us. We're open to everybody, and it's all about love.
Daryl Bob, ladies and gentlemen, of Mass Camp, turnout 8:30 Friday night, Harlem Plaza. Sports is next with Gavin Richards.
First up, some athletics. The president of the Dominica Amateur Athletics Association, Cedric Harris, is hoping that exposure at a high-performance training center for sprinter Mitchell Davis will do leaps and bounds for his career. Davis has been accepted again to attend the IAAF High Performance Center in Jamaica. Davis, a 200-meter sprinter, left state on Tuesday, where he'll spend the next 6 months training with the best sprinters around the world, including world record holder Usain Bolt.
I think it's going to have a big impact, because he's going to be among athletes like himself. I mean, high caliber athletes, and even athletes better than him. I think such an opportunity, when you train, it would be, for him, it's a plus, because he's going to be there training with guys who are pushing him on. He can have coaches, high profile coaches, like Mills. Mills is the coach of the great Usain Bolt. He is the one actually directing the center, so he's going to be the one overseeing everything that's going on there. And as we have seen, I said, Mitchell is not a first for him. He is there already, and we have seen the results that came out of it. And next year for him, we are looking for games that we expect him to see Mitchell come back to help us get up on the podium.
And head of the Dominica Football Association's referee department, Clayton Monroe, says that there is need for more females to get involved in officiating in football. His comments at the presentation of badges to Dominica's 5 FIFA officials who made the FIFA list. Dominica has not had a female official since the departure of Cassandra Del Sol. Monroe says that there are opportunities for the women and is calling on young ladies to show some more interest.
We lament the fact that we are yet to produce another female referee. And FIFA is very keen on having ladies on the FIFA list because there's a lot of football. The same number of tournaments that are available for the men are also available for the ladies. And ladies are important because the game has caught on as far as the females are concerned. And as you know, the Americans are doing very well, the Germans are doing very well. And we also have not done very well at football for the ladies, and we'd also like them to do well.
In some basketball news, the Emsall Mafia defeated the ever-popular Ball Hogs by a mere 11 points as action continued in the Roseau Valley Basketball League on Wednesday. The Mafia prevailed with the final score 75-64. For the Mafia, Hendricks Hallsborough had 23 points, Dave Alexis 15, Herbert John 13 and Austin Nichols 11. For the Hogs, Rich Blaise scored 19, Shane Elwa 14, Cameron Cobbett 12 and Roderick Blaise had 11 points. Meantime, taking a look at the standings in the league as of Thursday, the Ronald Charles Bullets, they are topping the zones with 7 wins and a loss. They are followed by the Elijah Law Thunderers, Forkani Upsetters, Lily Valley Sharks, the Forkani Rebels, Dominic Shockers, the Mount Prosper Lightning Strikers, the Emsall Mafia, Elvis Weldon Green Hornets, the Ball Hogs, the Maggie Magnificos, and the Power of Numbers Blazing Bullets. OECS and CARICOM Ambassador Felix Gregoire is hoping that the Indian Cricket Board, the BCCI, and the West Indies Cricket Board can reach a feasible solution to the current impasse between the two cricketing countries. The WICB is still facing a over $40 million lawsuit for pulling out of the Tour of India last November. Gregoire says he hopes that cooler heads can prevail as he believes the WICB and the region is in no position to pay that amount of money. He also feels that CARICOM should address the current crisis facing West Indies cricket.
I'm not saying that we are in a position to pay that amount. I don't think the Caribbean is in any position to pay that amount, but certainly would want to a resolution that would satisfy the Indian Cricket Board, the ICC as well, and so we can escape from that threat. And not only that we should put measures in place to manage cricket differently so they don't have those situations arising. So I'm hoping that that CARICOM, the heads of member states, can pay some attention to the management of West Indies cricket.
And in more cricket news, the West Indies captain Darren Sammy is hoping the West Indies can have a change of fortunes as they face South Africa in the T20 format of the game. The West Indies are coming off a 2-0 Test series defeat, but Sammy is hoping that the change of players and change in format will bring some much needed success for the West Indies. The first T20 bowls off Friday midday Caribbean time.
We're very confident. Like I said, it's a format that we've done well. We've won a World Cup 3 years ago, and we believe we have some of the best players in the world in that format, and you know we've shown how well we could play, and it's about going out there and focusing more or less on the T20 series. It's a different format, you know, different players. So it's whole new, different faces, new energy, different caliber of players are coming out to play. So, and I know the guys are eager.
The West Indies will be without the services of Sunil Narayan, Samuel Badri and Krishma Santoki. The full West Indies team reads Darren Sammy, the captain, Sulan Ben, Carlos Brathwaite, Dwayne Bravo, Sheldon Cottrell, Andre Fletcher, Chris Gale, Jason Holder, Ashley Nurse, Kiran Pollard, Dinesh Ramdin, Andre Russell, Marlon Samuels, Lendell Simmons and Dwayne Smith. And General Manager of the Windward Islands Volcanoes franchise, Gregory Shillingford, has hinted that the franchise could explore in the future the possibility of having players outside the Windward Islands region play for the team. The new franchise system adopted by the WICV makes it possible for players to play for different territories. Trinidad, for example, has selected Guyanese batsman Ramner Sawan.
That decision for choosing players in the draft and also in the protection of players, that was assigned to the selectors and the team coach. You know, I mean, on a personal basis, yes, I would say I would look to players, because the idea of a franchise, like in any sport, is to have the best players in the world, you know. But at the same time, I understand that we need to develop our cricket and to give our youngsters a chance. But I equally feel that it's important that they play alongside some of the better players and the best players in the world. You know, that's the way we ourselves developed West Indies cricket when we played in the UK many years ago.
That's a wrap on sports. You can join us next time. I'm Gavin Richards.
Your weather report is next.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I'm your presenter, Marshall Alexander. Again, we begin by taking a look at earlier infrared satellite imagery and what it showed. Some low-level clouds which moved across the area today, resulting in partly cloudy skies across Dominica, mainly during the earlier part of today. Meanwhile, this area of cloudiness, associated with a trough system, expected to approach the region during the weekend. Taking a look at earlier radar imagery and what it showed, some scattered showers which moved across the area today. Tonight's weather is expected to be partly cloudy, with a few brief scattered showers and also breezy conditions expected tonight. Tomorrow's weather is expected to be increasingly cloudy and breezy, with some scattered showers, mainly during the afternoon period. Sea conditions are expected to be moderate to rough in open water, with swells up to 10 feet. A small craft warning remains in effect for above normal sea swells. Therefore, small craft operators and sea bathers are advised to exercise caution. Conditions for the next 3 days: an increasing cloudiness and scattered showers expected tomorrow, with cloudiness and showers continuing throughout the weekend. An increase in wind speeds can also be expected by Sunday. Conditions for the rest of the Caribbean tomorrow: an increasing cloudiness with scattered showers and also breezy conditions can be expected throughout the region tomorrow, with an increase in shower activity expected across the extreme southern portion of the island chain. Now, international cities forecast: some snow showers can be expected in New York, with partly cloudy skies expected in Miami and Caracas. Some rain expected in London, with clear skies expected in Beijing. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:44 a.m. and sunset at 5:51 p.m. For more information, you can call the weather hotline at 447-5555 or visit the website at weather.gov.dm. Join us tomorrow for another weather broadcast. Have a good night.
And this is Channel 5 News. The headlines again: Dominica to join the rest of CARICOM by introducing a Consumer Protection Act, and the locally owned water company runs into difficulties. Operations at Nature Water Company appears to have ceased. You can send your questions and comments to news@mapping2k4.com. For instant access to the news, you can download the Turn Up 767 app. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thanks for watching.